Hi everyone, welcome back to CrochetRocks. Tracy here, and well, it's Sunday, and I'm here with my cup of sticky toffee tea, and it smells oh amazing. So today is Formula 1, so I'm doing my video a little bit earlier and then going off to watch it with Gary. So I had to go out earlier. I had to, well, the boy's dad was going to bring some money over that he owed me. But we decided to pop out because Gary wanted to go for a drink in the pub. So we went and had a little drinky. I had, they do Pepsi Max in there, so I was fine. But he has his Desperados. And then we popped to the shop for a few bits for his dinner, and then came back. And he was going to go and sit outside, and I was going to join him once I finished this, but now he is doing a jigsaw instead. So that's how the morning has been so far. I've got my bits at the ready. I slept well last night. I caught up on Coronation Street. After Gary went to bed, we watched The Last Dutton. Oh, it's going to be hard missing that. I really like that. I think that Yellowstone would not have been any good without Beth and Rip. A lot of the characters were good in that, but Beth and Rip were my favourite characters in it. And now the Dutton Ranch is both of them. So it was a really good season finale as well. So after that was done, and after Gary had gone to bed, I didn't really fancy watching football, so because the World Cup's on every night. So I caught up on Corrie's, and I'm all up to date on that and Emmerdale now, so that's cool. England are playing today, and I can't help feel that the cards have been stacked against us on purpose so we go out. And I mean that. It's not just an excuse. I do feel that it's been engineered, that Mexico play on their home ground against us, high altitude, which we're not used to and they are, and all day when they're meant to be sleeping sort of, you know, all night, crowds have been setting off fireworks outside England's hotels so they can't sleep. Police have been trying to keep crowds away, but that is how these nations win. Did you see Paraguay cheat relentlessly against France, elbowing them, kicking them? It's so bad, and not one decision went their way. Last England game should have had a penalty. No penalty. Usually VAR will look at that and call him over, but he said no VAR check. It is corrupt. I'm sorry, but it is. It's just everywhere I look, it is corrupt, and I'm not enjoying it. So it's on at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to bother. I just feel that, you know, it's been engineered for us to have the hardest road possible to actually get through this. And I'll wake up in the morning and find out if the boys succeeded or not. And if they did, I'll watch the game because I'll record it. But if they didn't, yeah, I won't have missed much, will I? Anyway, not staying up till all hours to watch it. And Gary has to go to work, so, you know, he said, oh, maybe I should have a sleep and then get up and watch it. I said, no, don't bother. Just go. If it's any good, we'll watch it. But yeah, he has to get up early, so he won't be staying up late anyway. So yeah, if it starts at 1 in the morning, I won't get to bed until about 3:30, 4 o'clock. I'm just not up for it, you know. No. Not for the same old story anyway, where we get shafted. I'm going to look at it again because it is so cute. It's little Grogu and a little fishy thing. I think that's Frog Lady's baby. Naughty, naughty. So that is the end of the weekendy picture. Like, nom, 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 nom. And we have a quote for Monday. Moff Gideon, you are sparing my life. Well, this should be interesting. Yeah, Moff Gideon. Was he Apollo Creed? No, he was that nasty man who was Gus Fring, I think, in Breaking Bad. Now, that was a good program. That was. Michael said to me to watch it when it was new. And he said, just get through the first few episodes and then you won't be able to stop watching it. It's just, you know, but the first few, a bit slow. I didn't find them slow. Obviously, they are getting to know characters, and I was hooked from episode 1. But yeah, it was a great program. Ding, ding, ding. Do you remember that? Cheers. I've got to drink it because it's I kind of made it and then I had a lot of things to get ready and stuff. So yeah, it's cooled down. Num, 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 num. Num, 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 num. It is so nice. My new favourite, that is. Beautiful. So I've been doing well selling my bits on eBay. And I sold a little bit of yarn on eBay. Must remember to take it out of stock. It's not such a problem. It's one where I've got lots of it. But obviously, as time goes on and I haven't got lots of it, that will be a problem if I don't correct it. So I'm going to have to upload the next batch of things. And I thought some of my summer sandals that I bought, which were quite expensive, there are at least 2 pairs that I bought some time ago for one of our previous holidays that I've never worn because I tried to break them in and be comfy in them. But when you walk, I'll show you on this. Okay, so this is a flip-flop. Okay, it's a slider, they call them now. But as you can see, it's got a sculptured kind of base, and it goes up at the side and down like that, and up at the next side, and it's got this ridge along here, and that is shaped like a foot. Even got toes and a little bump in there where your under the toes go. So there's a sculptured bottom, and that is what they have got, but not quite as sculptured as this. They look like this, except they've got straps across with bright stones. They're Kurt Geiger, and they're black. Now they're gorgeous, but you've got this sculptured bit, and then you've got another bit around the outside. And when you're walking, because this then is quite baggy and it has a tendency for your foot to move across, and when you're walking, you bang onto that ridge, which this isn't. This is spongier. It's still a ridge that you wouldn't want to come down on, but the other one is I come down on it all the time. So I've never really worn them. I think I might have worn them inside once, you know, and then didn't wear them again. So I'm considering putting them on. I mean, I could try just wearing them around every day until that they become really comfy, but I think that there's no way of changing how tight that bit across the top is, so I don't think it'll ever work. And then I had another pair, very sparkly. I've got a feeling they were Carvery, one of the two, and both of them I've never really worn. So the last time we went, I got some nice-ish shoes to wear on formal nights that are comfy, so I wore those. And then when you kind of, after the formal bit's finished, if you want to go to the nightclub, you can take them off. You can wear sliders. Does it really, you know, you don't need to carry on wearing. And besides, I've got a pair of sparkly sliders, so yeah, don't know really. It just seems a waste sitting there gathering. They don't gather dust because they're in a box, but you know what I mean, the box gathers dust, and I never wear them. And yeah, so I might go through And I've got some of my older bags that I've used a couple of times. They're all still pristine and they're all good. I've got so many brands and I've got too many. I know. Hang on. I'm in a panic attack. I really say I had too many bags. No such thing. Well, there is such thing if you can't store them because you've got no space. But yeah, so I don't tend to use them all because of it, you know. So I might, oh, it's such a hard thing to do, go through them and say, okay, realistically, I probably never will use that one again. It's so hard to part with them. It really is hard to part with them. It's so precious. It's so precious. Yeah, I'm a hoarder of bags, boots, and now it seems some slidery type shoes. And that is what I hoard. And yarn. Grogu. He was on the move because I kind of showed him the other day on a video and didn't put him back properly. That's one Gary got me when I had some kind of nasty news. He bought me Grogu. Got several Grogus. Grogus everywhere. But you can never have enough Grogus. Just like handbags. Maybe a handbag of Grogu. I could make one, couldn't I? Did I really say that? Make a Grogu bag. Oh, wow. Oh. 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 No, I can't. I won't have time. It's such an idea though, isn't it? I've set the whole internet ablaze now. They'll start making them. That's fine. Anyway, guys, I have aircon and it is now filtering through, but I am hot and bothered. Can you see the glistening appearing on my forehead? When I came back from Paul's, house was humid and like a furnace, and I said to Gary, why have you not got the aircon on? I'm just right. How? I said, no wonder he gets a blanket every time I put it on. I said, you can't be right. There's got to be something wrong. It's not normal to not be sweaty. Maybe I'm not normal to be hot. I don't know, but I've always run hot. I'm hot-blooded. I always have been. When I was a kid, I used to wear it like t-shirt in the winter all the time. Still do, to be honest. But I used to go out in it. Yeah, still do sometimes. I don't know what it is. I don't feel the cold like most people. I feel it more now than I ever did. There has been a few occasions when I've gone out in a sweatshirt. That was unheard of me ever wearing anything like that. Sweatshirts and pullovers, it just wouldn't happen. Yeah, I might wear a jacket, but I'd have a t-shirt underneath it so that when I got in the car, I could get that off and not be bundled up. Ideal length sleeves in the winter for me are 3/4 length because you're not hot if you're wearing them, but I can't bear my wrists and everything being covered up. And if I want them covered up, I'll wear gloves. You know, it's sort of anyway. I can't wait for cold weather. I really can't. I'm so over summer now. We haven't even started. You know, I'm just so fed up with being hot. It's like, come on, let's have a cold day, please. Just one or two, not too many, because you can have too much of a good thing, and that's the trouble with this country. You do get too much of a good thing. So you either get too much of this relentless sunshine and heat, or too much yuck. And then, you know, we long for the warmer weather again. I'm going to finish my tea before I move on to the next thing. So bear with me a second. Nom, nom, nom. It's so good. So the yarn that I'm going to show you from my stash is one that I bought from Joann's. I bought from Joann's in the USA, but I wasn't in the USA when I bought it. I was here. Because they used to, at some point, send yarn to the UK. And the postage was like really reasonable. It was something ridiculous, like $10 for the pattern. I thought, really? How? And also, no wonder they kind of had to stop doing it, because they have so many, or had so many outlets. Then if I ordered this yarn, it would come from one of them, and they'd send another yarn from somewhere else. excuse me, another yarn from somewhere else. So from one order, I might get 3 parcels, all come from the USA. How can that be sustainable? So in the end, they stopped sending to the UK, probably stopped sending overseas. But while they were, excuse me, I got that tea and I really shouldn't have. I made a shawl with one of these. It wasn't this colour, it was slightly different. It had more oranges in it, and I love that shawl. I have it in the yarn van. I figured if I put it in there and I ever wanted to wear it in the garden when I was sitting outside, I could easily go get it and put it on. Actually might be in the bedroom, I'm not sure, but I think it was in the yarn van. And this one was more rainbow. So it is beautiful. So it's not what I thought it was, because I think the others, the yarn that I had, that I made that shawl with, was called Roll With It. I thought this was Roll With It, but it's not. It's Lion Brand Mandala Sparkle. But it's very similar. See the glitz? It is beautiful. Really is nice. And they are the same, but this one has it made up slightly different, where you can see that salmony colour in the middle and a little bit on the outside. Whereas on this one, the yellow is kind of appearing on the outside. It's got all these gorgeous blues and teals, purple, and then teal and turquoise, should I say, really. But aren't they yarn boobies? Aren't they gorgeous? They are. So yeah, I ordered this from there as well. I got Roll With It in pink sparkle, Roll With It in blue sparkle, and the multicoloured one that I made that shawl with. That's why I thought this was Roll With It at a glance when it was looking at me like that on the shelf, but obviously it's not. It is Lion Brand Mandala Sparkle Eclat. Eclat. It's like La Touche Eclat, isn't it? Or as I like to call it, La Touche Eclat. Yeah, La Touche Eclat. So this is a 3.5 100 gram cake. There's 328 yards, there's 300 meters, and it is a 3 weight. All of my other mandalas that I've got are 4 weight. This one's a 3. Still got the spots. Look, it's really outrageous. It's horrible. But there, I'm trying to get rid. This is called Serpent. Serpent. Isn't it just beautiful though? Look. Stunning. So nice. Serpent. I've got 2 in this colour. So I don't know, that'll be 600 meters of yarn. But a 3 weight, yeah. I wasn't keen, I must admit. On the previous 3 weight, I had a blue one. And it was all these dusty blue colours and other blues. And I started making something with it. I didn't like it at all. And there was bits of colour that didn't belong, if you know what I mean. Like you're kind of crocheting in the light a bit and then be like blobber dark. And where it was all dusty coloured, it was looking grim. So I just threw it away. I just didn't even bother undoing it. I just got both cakes and I chucked them straight in the bin. And I could have just put them in charity box or something, but they were all full, and I just thought, no one wants to give this house room. Chucked it out. Hated it. Absolutely. And I found that the Mandala 4 weight, which is what I have in my shop, is super soft and it works up so well. But that particular 3 weight felt rough and I didn't like it at all. But this doesn't. This feels soft. So maybe I just had a horrible kind of batch, I don't know. And it has been known, because when the very first Karen cakes that I tried were purple, and they were terrible. There was blobs where blobs shouldn't be, and I was making something, and it wasn't until I'd got a good way in, there was suddenly a bit that didn't have any dye, and it was beige. It's really horrible kind of beige as well. So there was a whole swatch of it, swathe of it, whatever you want to call it, that didn't have dye. And of course I didn't really notice it as I was crocheting. It was pretty dark, and it was then in my project, and I kept looking and I was thinking maybe it's just meant to be there and it's this lighter colour. I looked at the other cake that I had and it wasn't there, so I complained. I complained to is it Inspirations? It is, isn't it? I complained and said, you know, this one is completely, I sent them photographs because they asked me to, you know, they didn't just take my word for it, which some companies would, but they wanted me to prove it with bells on. So I sent them a picture of it worked up, and I put, you know, it is way into my project because I just was working late at night and I thought it was the light part, but now you can see this horrible part that doesn't have any colour. And this went on for ages, this complaint. And eventually they sent me a couple of cakes. Oh, whistle. They sent me a couple of cakes. They didn't send me more, you know. So if you buy from a company, it's like, I've not really got that many people that have ever complained to me, but a little while ago, this poor lady ordered some yarn, or ordered something from me. It was yarn, Firefly. And I sent it off, and she messaged me saying my parcel's not arrived and it's still showing at the post office. And I have no idea why, because I know how much the parcel should have cost by now. I've been doing it long enough to know when a parcel is heavy and when a parcel is medium size and when it's small. It was a small parcel, it wasn't heavy, but they said it didn't have enough postage on it. And it was, so when I did a search, it said awaiting payment, not enough postage. And I thought, that's not true. It really isn't true. So I messaged her and I said, for some reason it's showing at your local depot, and I sent her a copy and paste of it saying that it doesn't have enough postage on it. And I said, that cannot be, you know, that it's a standard amount. And but if you do get a card and you have to pay some, then please let me know and I'll reimburse you it. So then she kept sort of saying it, I don't even have a card. And I couldn't get in touch with her local depot. It didn't have any information. Finally, she messaged me saying, I've now received the card. And I refunded her the extra bit of postage they wanted. And I thought I'd never hear from that woman again. You know, she's had a bad experience. But she messaged me and she said, you need to complain to Royal Mail because that was really bad. And, you know, that would give your company a bad name, even though I understand it's nothing to do with you. You posted it and it's Royal Mail. So I said, well, you know, ordinarily I have no problem with them. And I even have parcels to America. Oh my goodness, I'm bleeding. Look at that. I know I rubbed it, but ooh, how strange is that? Anyway, I kind of didn't know what that was. It was stuck and wow. So anyway, that's odd, isn't it? I thought it was red and it was actually bleeding. Hopefully it stopped. Goodness. So where was I? Oh yes, as ordinarily I don't have a problem with them, and in fact I send things to America that arrive within a week, you know, and people say I get your parcels sent to me quicker than me ordering from an American company, you know, someone like, I don't know, any company that they do mail order from in the States. You know, I wait longer for them coming from the US than I've waited for yours. I said, so I've not had any problem with Royal Mail. I said, up until now, this has been the first time, but I will keep an eye on it. Anyway, she ordered again. And so I thought, I don't want any problems with this one, you know, and so I kind of sent her a bit extra. And she sort of kind of ordered about 3 or 4 times since then. So, you know, it was really, really nice that she kind of, you know, accepted that it wasn't me. And, you know, so some people can be really, really nice. But yeah, I don't understand though why Joanne's sent in dribs and drabs to another country. That That is wild, you know. No way that is going to be sustainable, is it? So they ended up stopping international. I don't know if I'm still bleeding. I can't believe I did that on air. How gory. Oh, so look at this X-rated horror movie of a of a chat. It's weird. I just suddenly thought, blood. You know, I'm gonna get my necklace now. No, it's fine. But yeah, it was weird. I just felt like, what is that? And then all of a sudden, blood. It's like, oh. Anyway. Strange. It spun me out. That did. Suddenly seeing like, patch of blood. Sorry if any of you fainted. Some people don't like blood, do they? I know it was only a tiny amount. But I'll tell you what, I did that once. I went to, I had to have a blood test. And I was younger, and I had young babies at home, and the nurse was really nice, and at the time they were crying out for mature students to go into nursing, and because there was a real shortage of nurses. So we were chatting as she was, you know, in there, and I think first thing she said to me was, wow, aren't you a lovely colour? Have you been on holiday? I said, no, this is just my garden. It was one of those years where I sunbathed. It didn't happen very often, but every now and then I would have a year where I really wanted a tan and I'd really want to be out in the sun, but usually I would be hiding from it. And I said, oh no, it's just the garden and pushing the buggy, you know, that's all it is. And so we were chatting, and she said, have you ever thought of going into nursing? They're asking for mature students now. And I went, couldn't do it. She said, why not? You've got a great kind of bedside manner. You'd be good at it, putting people at ease. I said, no, I just couldn't do the injections and things like that. And she said, oh, I'm sure you'd be absolutely fine. It's, you know, after a while, you just get used to it. Couldn't see the needle. I wouldn't be able to do it. And she was doing me at the time. And she went, you're doing very well now then. Yes, but I haven't seen it, have I? She don't wake me up. And she said, I looked, and all that lovely colour that you had drained out of your face, and you just went on me. I went, see, I couldn't do it, could I? But I came to realise that it's just my own blood and my own circulation, you know, that I don't like. I don't even like blood pressure. You know, when you can feel it go bump, 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 makes me feel quite sick. That makes me feel quite queasy. And I can't look at a needle sticking out of me without feeling, I mean, I've seen it a bit more since, but especially when I was in hospital, you know, they all want to do is just jab you. But I look away every time, really. But yeah, it's just my own that it really isn't a thing. For when I was doing the ambulance service, third manning, I had to hold arms while they cannulated, and I see it go in. I was fine. We went to a chap who had pulled off his dressing on his leg, and where he was old and his skin was like paper, it ripped open, and when we got there was like this much blood on the floor, like an inch of blood, congealed and icky, and we had to wade through that to get to him. So that was fine. I had lunch afterwards and I was all right. But and all the times I had to watch Canulations and hold arms while they were injecting or cannuling, I didn't have any problems. But it's just me. It's just watching it being me. That was the thing. But at the time I didn't realise that, and I just thought I couldn't do it. There's no way I could do it. So I never went into it. But yeah, I kind of just looked. I said, yeah, but I'm not looking at it, am I? I just went. She was like, you just went white. Yeah, maybe not a job for me. Oh, so what's the time? All got ages yet until Formula One. Oh, it is now cold. I'm actually cold on my right side, sorry, because it comes through here and gets my leg first. So the nice thing is I'm getting into a few clothes that I never been able to wear before, but I have lost some, and I'm wearing a pair of blue light denim pedal pushers right now. I have a yellow pair that are the same, and I cannot find them. I've got two peach t-shirts, both of which, one might be Nike, I don't know you say what you call it. One might be Adidas. Can't find either of them. Both peach, but gone. And the last time I had any of those things was in Las Vegas. So I'm wondering if I lost a bag, or if I packed it away somewhere, but where? You know, it's just like, they're not exactly colours that you can't see a mile off, but I can't find them anywhere. Maybe I did lose them. Maybe I lost a bag. I don't know. It is weird. Anyway, guys, didn't do the joke, did I? I did the Grogu. I don't think I did a joke. I must not have done it. I know I did the Grogu, but I didn't. I don't remember doing it. Oh, we'll do it now then. Good job I remembered. I bet you were shouting at me. You didn't do the joke. You didn't do it. Here we go. I've been in the library and said to the assistant, "Have you got that new book out for gentlemen with small cocks?" She said, "It's not in yet." I said, "Yeah, that's the one." Oh, God. Gary, what is he doing to me? Oh my God. Why do girls rub their eyes when they wake up? Because they've got no balls to scratch. You can see as I read those that the words, I suddenly realise the words I've got to read out, and I just go like, oh, you know. He's a bad man. He's a bad man, but we love him. So I'm going to get off, upload the video, and go and see Gary before we watch Formula One. We might end up sitting outside for a little bit. It's been actually really nice and cool out today. Not here, but when we was in town, we had a lovely sea breeze. It's always windy. Whenever we go to the Tesco store, it's usually blowing a gale there. It just, for some reason, that's the windiest part of the island. It must be the flattest, coming off the sea from all directions, because it's the bit of the island that goes like that. So it's really, really windy. Even though there's a big seawall, it's usually pretty windy. So, but it was a lovely cool sea breeze. And also when we went into the little, it's a kind of they had a carvery. It smelled good. And so I thought, maybe we could have carvery today. So I went over to see what from the carvery I might be able to eat. And all I could have was meat and green beans, because all of the other veg were things I can't have. So I just said, oh, it's not worth it really. You know, the potatoes look really good. I just thought, no, I'm going to walk away. I'm not going to do it. So, yeah, but when we were outside there, it was lovely and breezy. It was really, really nice. Cool breeze. And a nice, gentle cool breeze coming in. It was really good, but they had a weird situation in the pub. Now, every time we go in there, I have Pepsi Max, and I usually have a bag of salted peanuts. So Gary bought me these. Actually, I think I bought them for Gary. He had dry roasted this time, not crisps. And I had the salted peanuts. And I only had a little bit. And I had this pain in my tongue. And that is I've had that a couple of times. A telltale sign that a pain in my tongue. And that's the start that I'm going to get one of those blood blister things. So I had a look, and I had a little bruise appearing. And I thought, if I eat any more, I will have a blood blister. So I stopped straight away, and I rinsed my mouth of all of the salt and everything else. And I just had my drink, and it went. I had an antihistamine, and I thought, I'm not allergic to peanuts. I'm not allergic to anything but hazelnut and limonene and all that stuff. So why? Obviously, there's something else at play that causes this. Maybe it's the salt. Maybe it's where they've been roasted. I don't know, but it's weird. I just don't understand that. Why would I get that when I'm not allergic? There was no gluten. Nothing I had gluten. So I'm really kind of confused by that, because I eat nuts, and sometimes I eat nuts and I get a little bit of a sore mouth because of the salt, you know, like eating too many of them, and it, because they're Moorish, aren't they? And you think salt, 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 it's a bit too harsh. But I'd only just started eating them, and it was this side, which is where I always get that up here, and that is where I got my cancer too. So yeah, freaked me out a little bit. I thought, what the hell's going on? So Gary had to eat my nuts as well as his own, and I had nothing. So yeah, weird though. And I thought, well, I'm not allergic to this. Maybe where they roast the peanuts, they also do dry roasted peanuts, and so there's traces of gluten in it. I don't know, maybe it was the salt. A bit strange, very strange. Anyway guys, as I said, I'm going to get off, upload my videos, get them uploading while I'm doing everything else, and I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget, what do you think I should do with these? They're beautiful, they really are. I'll see you on the next one, guys.